Welcome back to day 2 of our 5-day overlanding journey through beautiful British Columbia. After a long drive last night, we woke up beside the river and surrounded by the forest, and after a quick breakfast, hit the trail. Today's journey would take us up and over a mountain range using a single lane pass trail, where we would find one of many high elevation lakes. And after a short break, we head back down the other side and into the Kootenays, where, after a ferry ride and a bit more trail running, we make it to our camp spot for the night. Although, it doesn't quite go to plan, forcing us to retreat back up the beach where we settled for the night. And good morning, and welcome back to day 2 of this epic adventure. So we got here pretty late last night, like 1:30. If you didn't see the video of us driving down here, they'll be linked in the playlist. But we woke up to a pretty sweet campsite, guys. I left my window screens open because it is really hot out. If you know the heat wave coming through Western Canada, yeah, we're camping in that. But with the window vents open in here, it's actually a really nice sleep. And the best part about it is, check this out. This is where we camped last night, right on the riverside. Nice little running river. Actually, it's running pretty fast, but it gave us some nice noise last night, and I knew I heard it, I just didn't know how far it was. You could kind of see the edge, but turns out it's a pretty big river. So with that being said, let's go ahead, cook some food, and check out this campsite. Well, I've got breakfast going. I realized my Coleman just barely fits in here, so we might have to build something for that a little bit later, because these plastic tubs aren't doing the best. Anyways, while this cooks, let's go ahead and check out this amazing campsite. Located on the edge of a fast-flowing and chilly river, the site had more than enough room for all 4 of our rigs, with some space to spare. And just around the surrounding tree line, it looked like some kayakers also had more than enough room to set up camp for a while. Looking around, I could see quickly why it was so dusty getting in. The area was covered in a fine sand that kicked up into the air with the slightest movements. With breakfast done and the tents all packed up, it was time to leave this amazing campsite and hit the road. And there we go, we're out of the campsite and on the trail. So we have to go through this super dusty road again. Austin says it gets even worse than this, so I'm interested to see what that looks like, because this is already crazy dusty, but we're gonna make it out of this little area where we camped, and then I don't know where we're going, but we're gonna hit up a trail, so I will probably catch you guys up at that trailhead. Well, we're on the trail, I guess you could say. It's, I believe, a mountain pass that we're just climbing elevation up and up. And as you can probably see around me, it is so dusty. There's points where I cannot see the road in front of me. It gets super dusty and then it gets super rocky. So you either have the choice of rocks or dust, which makes it a little difficult to handle and a little difficult to drive when you can't see where you're going, like this. But it's definitely worth it. It is a beautiful drive back here. Like, look at, we're just like in the middle of nowhere, just cruising along on a dirt road. But we're gonna keep on going on this trail or pass. I'm gonna call it a pass now, because we're gaining elevation pretty quickly. So I think we're kind of climbing up here, climbing up over this mountain ridge. And now I can't see again because it is so dusty. You just gotta slow right down until you can see the road again, because you don't know, there could be a huge log or a giant boulder in your way, so you kind of gotta play it safe. So I'm paying attention to the road, and I'll catch up to you guys when we find something interesting or get onto more of a technical trail. As we continued up the road, we continued gaining elevation, meter by meter, and the views just kept on getting better and better. And what was a simple road through the forest became a road snaking across the mountains, going from ridge to ridge. But it didn't last long, and before we knew it, the road turned into a single lane off-road trail. Which, after a little more climbing and no real challenges, took us right to the summit. Well, I think that was the summit or the highest point, because it's all downhill from here, it looks like. My car has become a new shade of Subaru color, it is now just brown dust. Man, the whole car is just like coated in dust, so that's great. Also, my windshield, you can't just go use the windshield wipers because this is going to pick up dust, so I have to use it very sparingly, but Forester's running alright. It stalled out once, I'm not sure why, but it's still running, still making it down, and as I said, this is a descent, I believe, so we should be able to just cruise down and kind of enjoy it. Anyways, since we're here, we're gonna go take a look at a little lake over there, and then we're gonna hit the road and get going again. Well, that little lake in the mountains was pretty cool. It's definitely another one that would be really cool to paddleboard on. I do have my hopes set to go do some paddleboarding in some later ventures. Not this one, because obviously I didn't bring it, but also when we can go explore some more little lakes here and there. I think that would be a lot of fun. Anyways, we're gonna now make that descent down the hill and see where it ends up, because I think we went right through the mountain range.
With gravity now assisting us, we snaked back and forth on the mountain towards the Kootenays, quickly losing elevation. And as it opened up, I was able to put the Forester in second gear and coast down at a pretty good clip, only slowing down for the few sharp turns and the couple of rough patches. After a quick descent, we made it back to the main road and pointed towards the ferry that would take us across the lake.
Well, we pulled right into the ferry and we're able to get on right away. Sometimes there's a wait and sometimes the ferry's not there, but it was perfectly timed. So we just pulled that up, pulled on to the ferry, and then got on. So enjoy this little ride through the ferry, and then I think we're off to about an hour drive. We gotta go get some gas, all asphalt road, I believe, and then we're gonna find our camping spot for the night. I'm not gonna spoil it yet because it's a really cool campsite or camping area, so you'll just have to wait and see.
This ferry in particular is known for being the longest free ferry in the world, totaling over half an hour on the water, where we crossed from one side of the Kootenay Lake to the other. Furthermore, it was also my Forester's first time being on the ferry. Going across the center of the lake, we didn't have a great view of the shore besides the departures and arrival, but it really didn't matter because of the vast lake surrounding us as we crossed. Although, it wasn't long before we were back on shore and unloading off the ferry.
And now off the ferry, it's time to go ahead and air up, as we'll be on asphalt. So I can now actually air up my tires because we aired them down pretty good, because as you guys know, these are off of Austin's Subaru Forester and not my stock all seasons. So we took like 10 pounds of pressure out or something. So we gotta add some air in so we can go hit the road.
And hit the road we did. It was time to make some miles and get to our campsite for the night. A short drive later, on the winding roads, we were led to another dirt trail. This one was a bit different, where rather than leading us to the forest, led us to the beach, where we crossed over to our camping spot, or so we thought.
And there we go. So this is where we're camping tonight, literally on a beach, on a lake in BC. So it's a little bit windy right now, but usually it calms down in the evening, so that would be great. But I think I do have some tent pegs for the the little fold over on the tent, so we shouldn't have any worries. And then once we have the tent set up, it's probably time to cook some food. But let me set up the tent. So a little bit of change of plans. We're actually going back into the trees because I just set up my rooftop tent and then the wind really started picking up to the point where I couldn't see the other tents on the beach. So we decided, let's go ahead and move the tents and get over there and out of the wind, because the wind's never a fun thing. So let's go ahead and get into our new camping spot. Well, there we go, we moved to our new spot and the wind's kind of died down. So right here, we're like off the water by quite a bit now. And that means when the wind comes down here, our tents aren't gonna go flying. But as you guys can probably tell right now, there is someone playing music over there. So it's pretty loud, but actually I'm surprised. It is Canada Day and somehow it's pretty dead here, so yeah. But if we walk down to the beach where we were before and we got sandblasted, it's, as I said, not windy anymore. Everything is covered in sand. This camera, my digital camera, my film cameras, everything. So everything got a little sandblasting, hopefully not the tent. But yeah, check this out. This is where we're camping and staying the night. Nice little beach. I definitely have wanted to go camping on the sand for a long time. That was a big thing when I was in Montana, so it's great to actually finally go ahead and do it. And what a nice spot to do it. We do have some clouds over here, but I'm not too worried because we're in the trees now and not, I think we were right there before and it got really sketchy. My tent was lifting the car and stuff, but we're good now and it's getting calm. So yeah, let's go enjoy the fire, enjoy the campsite, and then we'll probably go to bed sooner than later, because as I said, we were driving since 1 a.m. last time, or yesterday. If you haven't checked that video, check that one out. That's how we got into the Kootenays where we are right now. So that was a little bit of an adventure, but yeah, we'll go enjoy the fire and enjoy the campsite.
With the sun setting across the mountains, we sat by the propane fire and reflected on the trip so far and the journey that lays ahead of us. Although, due to the just passing summer equinox, the sunlight lingered for hour after hour, casting the snow-capped mountains in a purple glow, which to my surprise led to some interesting photos, and a beautiful landscape. And as the sun finally disappeared into the darkness, we put our stuff away and went to bed.
And with that, it's time to end the second day of our adventure. So the wind did eventually calm down and the clouds kind of cleared up, so we were able to shoot a few astrophotography photos, trying out a different lens. Actually, I'm using a wide angle, just seeing if I like it. I did get some cool shots, so I'll throw them in here, here, and here. And with that being said, that is going to be the end of today's video. As I said, we're splitting each day up into its own separate video because we're doing lots of really fun and cool stuff, and I don't want to make you guys sit through a whole 2-hour video. So that's going to be the end of today's video. What we did is we went through a really cool pass, and then we also took the ferry and ended up camping on the beach. So that was today's video. So until next time, or until tomorrow's video, peace out and stay humble.